Alrighty. Put a little theme music in there. Hello, my name is Kimberly Stewart Lucas of Warrior Mamas and Absolutely Divine Events. And this is a live episode of Dish with the Doulas. Thank you so much for joining me. Let the music play. Theme music by Michael Woodman. Thanks, Mike. I'm gonna let this play out. I'm gonna put my comments in. All right. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn down the theme music and welcome you again to Dish with the Doulas. My name is Kimberly Stewart Lucas, as I said before. I'm doing this episode live, and it seems like every episode I'm doing something a little different. So today I am streaming from StreamYard and broadcasting live on Facebook. And I'm going to be talking by myself. Don't have a guest tonight. Let me check out this on Facebook and make sure that we're on and streaming properly. Yes, we are. All right, check that out. So let me see if I can pin this. Oh, it says block. Ooh, I want to do that. Oh, and it's also giving captions on Facebook. How awesome is that? So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to share this on my page. I'm not going to do a watch party though. Let's do that. So bear with me as I share this on my personal page as well. Join me live. And if you're watching from Warrior Mama's page, you can also share this. I appreciate it. Because I'm just going to talk and go over some things and give you some updates on what's to come. And all that jazz. But I thank you for watching tonight. There is a delay. As you see in the comment, there is about a 7 to 10 second delay. So if you ask a question or put a comment in, I will probably respond a little later in seconds. So bear with me. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm going to just monitor from here. So yeah, happy Thursday. It's been I don't even know what to call this time, right? And I'm going to turn up my sound bowl therapy because my sound bath therapy. So if you hear some hertz in the background, my hertz are like 432. It's what keeps me calm. So if you hear a buzzing going on, not even buzzing, it's just to me, it's very soothing. It helps to put me to sleep. It helps to calm me. It does some things to my chakras. But yeah, that's what I have on the TV right now. So hopefully you can still hear me clearly. But yeah, this is an interesting time, and interesting is such an understatement. It's a very high powered, high emotion, high pressure, very powerful, very, flammable situation, not even situation, just energy going on right now. And the reason why I pressed forward in doing this episode tonight is because I recognize this is my resistance. The birth work in which I participate in is part of my fight. I am not one to go out to the streets to protest. I used to do the rallies when I was in my 20s, when I was a student at Georgia State University. Yeah, everyone has a different part to play in this. And this is my part, one of my parts. And that is the birth work. is making sure that I do my part to provide families and women with the resources to be healthy. If they are choosing to be mothers and to bring children into this world, it's to do it at its most healthiest and to provide resources and information um, to guide people to make those decisions they want to make, right? That's my lane, part of my lane. It's the other part is, with Kenyatta, raising 3 free thinking, creative, brilliant children who will one day be independent and live for themselves, and to be able to lift their voices and use their voices to make a difference, to be of service. That's my other part of the resistance. I think playing your part is very important. And it's not always going to look the same. So, and no one should be criticized for it not being the same as yours. This week was interesting, particularly on Tuesday when that blackout happened, or whatever it was. And the one thing that I do not get with is criticizing, and I guess my critique of this is criticizing, but it's criticizing those who criticize, and to shame people for doing X, Y, and Z. Everyone's lane is different. And you have to respect that. Black people are not a monolithic group. We don't have one agenda. Well, I say this, the agenda that we have is stop killing us. That's the agenda we have. Stop the injustice. Stop the dismantle white supremacy. I think that's an agenda we can all say that we agree upon. Some Black folk that don't, but I think they're in the minority of that. So I say all that to say that Dish with the Doulas, Warrior Mamas, Absolutely Divine Events, which is the umbrella really, the Reclamation Project, which is my celebration of Black women and our sensuality, sexuality, and spirituality, that is where I pour myself into. Because I also know that we have to take care of ourselves in the midst of this. This is just beginning in this cycle. And the fight, the protests are just beginning. Those 4 police officers have not been charged yet. And for those of us of a certain age know how some of these court cases go, where they are, I'm sorry, not charged, they're not convicted. They haven't been convicted yet. So that needs to happen, because if it doesn't, and I've said this to several people, and I'll say it here, this country will burn to the ground, and rightfully so. And so, in the meantime, we need to have healthy mamas and healthy babies and healthy daddies and healthy children and healthy elders to keep this thing going. And so that's part of what I want to talk about today as well, is the self-care piece of this that has to continue. Like, it just can't be a one-time thing, right? The self-care is ongoing. It is until we ain't here. We should be taking care of ourselves. So I have a little agenda, and I'm wondering if these captions are coming out correctly, but we'll see. Anywho, I want to thank everyone that's been watching the previous episodes. This is technically episode 6. We took a couple of weeks off. I'm still scheduling guests, and I do have someone scheduled on the 18th, which is Thursday after next. I'm in the midst of scheduling someone for next Thursday. Thursday, 7 p.m. is the time I want to be consistent with. And I've done that last year, and I continue on with season 2. But I'm grateful for those that have been watching Dish with the Doulas from season 1 and season 2. I want to thank all of the guests that I've had on. And let me see here. If I click off the screen and something happens, forgive me, because I'm going to come back. I wanted to share this copy. Did I copy it? So if you would like to see any previous episodes, I'm going to place them in the comments here. Go to this link. Do that. Hopefully, I'm not sure if it's going to come up with the actual description of the link. But that link I just shared is to my YouTube page, which houses all the episodes except for episode 1 of season 2. I did that on Facebook Live, and I did it from Facebook, and I wasn't able to get a file from that. And if you know how to do that, let me know, to put that file on YouTube. So all of the episodes except that are on. And I am proud to say, let me go to my banners. I've been playing with StreamYard, y'all. I just, like it. I'm proud to say that my episodes are now available. Look at that streamer at the bottom. They're now available, the audio, on iHeart.com and Spotify. So that's for season 2, episodes 2 through 5. And I'm not sure if I can get the audio off of this one. We'll see. Hopefully it's recording. Ooh, I hope I recorded this. That'd be something if I didn't. So yeah. Hey, Isla. Hello. Again, there may be a delay, but thank you for watching. So yeah, the audio, if you don't, have time to watch it and you want to listen to what I'm doing on the go, tap into iHeart.com and then enter Dish with the Doulas or on Spotify. Let me share some screens real quick so you can see what it looks like. I'm going through all the motions, y'all, so just bear with me. I like these little new wave things. So this is the iHeart. Let me see here how I can do this. See, check that out. That's the iHeartRadio page for Dish with the Doulas. I love it. I love it. And then I'm going to stop with that and share with you, let's see, the Spotify page. I just like the feature of being able to share my screen. It's this StreamYard is like Zoom, but I'm able to stream live, and I don't know how to do that integration of Zoom and Facebook. So I'm doing it through StreamYard. So that's the Spotify page for my podcast. And yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm able to provide this, the audio of the shows as well. So that is that. So I thank all of the previous guests I've had on. Darren Moore of Mama Soko Collective. I've had on Kira Kimball, who is a doula trainer of Mine RT Doula Company out of Charlotte. I also have had Tracy Collins, who is the president and founder of the National Black Doulas Association. And the last episode that I aired was with Kwajalein Jackson, and she's the executive director of the Feminist Women's Health Center here in Atlanta. And so to come, I'm excited. And I'll share that a little bit later because I've put out my feelers and my requests for some other organizations. The very first episode of this season, I shared my wish list of organizations that I want to interview and spotlight. And, whether I am granted the interview with some of these entities, I'm going to spotlight them anyway because they are valuable resources in our community, in everyone's community, but particularly Black folks, women of color, really addressing the things that are not being fully addressed in the mainstream. And like I said, I have to remind myself that not everybody, knows about home birth and natural birth. The community that I'm a part of, it's norm for us. It's normal. But I have to remember that that's not always the way. I'm gonna go ahead and take the bottom part off. But yeah, so some of the other episodes that I'd like to have this season are definitely related to what's going on right now. And I'm still trying to pull together a panel discussion online, virtually, to talk about COVID-19 and how pregnant women are feeling, what their plans are, because of things changing. They're trying to have a hospital birth or home birth. A lot of women that I know that are expecting have switched their plan to now a home birth because hospitals are limiting who can be in the room with them. Some hospitals are not even allowing a person's partner or spouse, and I just cannot understand that. That to me is so unethical, let alone their doula or midwife. And I just can't imagine not having someone on my team that's going to look at, and not that the hospital staff is not going to look out for you, but there's nothing like having your family and your partner and your spouse with you. So a lot of people have switched their plans to home birth. I want to examine that and also talk about after the baby's here and that fourth trimester and the type of support that we should have, that we are given or we expect to get, and the things that we're not asking for. We've got it all turned upside down. And then on top of, with the pandemic, everything's changed about proximity and social distancing. So the question becomes, how do I support this new family and respect their social distance, respect their space? A new baby's in the house. How am I able to support and share and serve a new family in the midst of a pandemic? So I also would like to put together a panel about that, or I'm, in the midst of putting together a panel about that. I guess now I'll just go ahead and share. So please tune in. I've got scheduled for the 18th, so not next Thursday, but the following Thursday, which is June 18th. I am excited to welcome the Black Girls Breastfeeding Club. And I'm going to share their screen now because I like sharing screens. So Ayanna Robinson, who is the founder of this organization, will be joining me. There we go. She'll be joining me on June 18th on Dish with the Doulas. And so I'm excited about that. So for more information, because that's one element I don't think we've discussed it before in some of the previous shows, but yeah, I've never had a show dedicated to breastfeeding. And that is a very, very, very important conversation to have, particularly with Black women, about the benefits of breastfeeding for babies and for the mother, emotionally, physically, metaphysically, spiritually, all of those. So I'm excited for this episode because we will be talking about all the things with breastfeeding and Black women. So I'm excited for that. And I look forward to Ayanna joining me on the 18th. So yeah. Also, I wanted to share a couple things with you guys. So what time is it? 18 after. What I said earlier about self-care, I'm seeking that right now. Not that I wasn't before or haven't been in my life, but I am putting things in place in a way that I haven't before. Because so much is going on right now. Tensions are at a high in a way that I, just haven't experienced in a long time, if ever. And so to not lose it and not go under or spiral, because I've experienced depression and I know what that feels like. We have to be vigilant with our self-care right now. Vigilant. Because our life does depend on it, right? In order for us to fight the good fight, however that may look for you, you need to take care of yourself. And that means not always watching news coverage, not always being on social media, even though you're joining me right now, so thank you. And if you are going to do those things, make sure it's not always, the crazy talk. I this week, and it was a roundabout way in which it came. A couple of weeks ago, I came across a meme that was about, it was like a letter to Black people to rest. Same thing I just said, disconnect, rest, do what you need to do because we need to take care of ourselves in the midst of what's going on. And the person that made that meme was Octavia Rahim. And so I posted that on Facebook, and then a friend of ours, Mike, who is a yoga instructor, and he's a former client of my husband's, in the comments said, "Hey, I don't know if you know, but Octavia is a yoga instructor in Atlanta and she owns a studio, real cool woman." I was like, cool. I mean, I shared her meme. I was connecting with what she said. And so maybe a few days later, I'm listening to my sound bath therapy, and I wondered, I said, you know what? I love Healing Vibrations is the page I follow on YouTube. I love the aesthetics of what his setup is. And I love the different variations of like sound baths that he does. It could be for sleep, it could be for morning, it could be for different chakras. If you have anxiety, like he has it broken down into, if you're seeking a certain type of healing, he has a sound bath recording for you. But then I wonder if there are any sound bath therapists, Black sound bath therapists in Atlanta. And so the other morning I did a search and I came across, and I put in sound bath therapist Black Atlanta. One of the results was a article from Atlanta Magazine about different places in the city that you can go to. I was like, okay, well, let me see how specific they get on who's doing the therapy. The second option in that article, I think it's called Sacred Chill West, which is Octavia Rahim's yoga studio. Now, at the time, okay, I see it in the article. I click on it, and then I see Octavia's name. I'm like, wait a minute, this is the same sister that I, just posted her message a few days ago, and that Mike told me was a, awesome yoga instructor and all that. So I look and I go to, Facebook page and so forth, and I see that she just put out a book called Gather. And I'm going to share this. So, I like to share screens, y'all. Go here. That is crazy, y'all. I clicked on something. You know what? I'm gonna probably stop clicking. I really want to share it because I set it up, but that is crazy. And on my screen, I'm just frozen. That sucks. Anywho, so I don't know what I'm gonna be more careful about what I'm clicking on. Share screen, and then I'm doing this, sharing that image. Okay, so that is crazy, y'all. I clicked on something. You know what? I'm gonna probably stop clicking. I really want to share it because I set it up. But okay, as you can hear me talking in my replay, that's how the delay is. So anyway, this is what she did. She wrote a book, Guided by the Courage, Light, and Powers of My Ancestors. I wrote a book for us. This is Octavia speaking. For our weary parts, our woke parts, our disregarded parts, for our misunderstood parts, for our sacred parts. I wrote a book called Gather. This is a place for us to remember we are whole. And the website you can go to get the book is octaviarahim.com/gather. So I purchased the book. I'm looking forward to my copy because, again, I am seeking and desiring, self-care strategies. I need to be cloaked in it. because the way in which I'm going to come out and advocate and be an activist and all that, we have got to take care of self, body, mind, spirit first. Another thing that I'm looking forward to is next week, I believe on Monday, I'm going to start a 7-day intensive with Anana Harris Paris. And this is her book called Self-Care Matters. It's a revolutionary's approach. She wrote this and put this book out maybe 2 years ago. Let me see here. Yep, 2017, 3 years ago. So Anana, there she is, beautiful. Her birthday was just on Monday. Happy belated birthday. Self-Care Matters. And she is the co-founder of, I think it's called Sister. I got this up here too. Let me share this. Sister Care Alliance. So they are doing something on this Sunday. Sister Care Alliance is the name of the organization. So they're doing something on this Sunday. You can go to their page, go to their website, Sister Care, and that's this website right there, sistercarealliance.org. And you can register there. I think it's a limited registration, but they're doing a Social Justice Matters online training on this Sunday, June 7th. And they're having a segment for young girls, ages 11 through 18. And that's going to be for about an hour and a half. And then all community members are welcome to join at 3:30. Registration is required. So go to sistercarealliance.org for more information. And I'm going to put their website up here as well. Let's do that. So yes, I am excited to join this training on Sunday, but I'm also excited to do the work, more work. I've had this book and I haven't gone through it from cover to cover. Another thing that Anana has provided, and I think this is available on the website, sistercarealliance.org, is also this needs assessment. Now, I got my copy and printed out my copy, and this is a blank copy because it's something to revisit over and over. But this is also available on their website, and it's basically a self-care, family care, community care assessment of what do you need. That's what the document's called. What do you need? And I think we're not asking ourselves enough. We are, especially women, especially Black women, tend to ask, what do you need, before we ask, what do we need? And I know that a lot of the mothers, that's just the way in which we, do. And that's what we saw our mothers and grandmothers do. But again, I think we've got it twisted to where we think that, if I take care of myself, that's being selfish and taking away from the time and energy from my children. And I think that is backwards. I think that when you take care of yourself, your children and your family and your spouse and your partners automatically benefit from the care that you've given to yourself, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. Same thing on a plane. They tell you to put your mask on first before you assist others, because if you pass out, you ain't no good to nobody else. So the self-care to me is putting the mask on first, so I can love on my family and my husband and my friends and family and my community. But I have to go back to self to replenish and restore and rejuvenate. Not the other way around. I'm clear on that. So yeah, I'm excited about working with Anana. But like I said, also this Sunday, June 7th, there is a workshop that they're doing. So yeah, that is what's coming up. Also, because it's my show and I can talk about whatever I want to talk about, I'm also going to share what's happening this weekend. And this is not birth related per se, but you know what? Bump that. It is, because I am all for women who are expecting to dance, especially if you're in labor. This Saturday, Applejack, my friend Applejack, DJ Applejack, is doing Black Love Matters. This is, I think, the third installation, if I'm not mistaken, second or third installation. that he's doing. This will be online. It'll be on Twitch TV/DJ Applejack. But it's healing. He just did a fundraiser on Monday in honor of his mother, and it was his mother's birthday. And the fundraiser was for, I believe, the MS Foundation. And it was in honor and memory of his mother. And it was amazing. And if you know anything about DJ Applejack, he takes you to the next level. His music knowledge is unlike anyone else I've known. And he's led by the spirit when he plays his sets. So if you are so inclined, please check out Black Love Matters. It's a musical gathering for healing, and the soundtrack is curated by DJ Applejack. That'll be this Saturday in my time zone from 3 to 5. If you on the West Coast, that's from 12 to 2. And but for more information, that's Twitch TV/Applejack, DJ Applejack, right? So yeah, that's what I have to share. It's 7:30. And I'm going to wrap this up. Let's see, I'm looking at my list. I've talked about Gather. I talked about the Self-Care Alliance Self-Care Alliance. Yeah. So I am hoping to have secured a guest for next Thursday. I'll let you know about that on my Instagram page and my Facebook page. But either way, I'll be back because I like to keep this going. And it's for me. This is healing for me. I'm here, without a guest, but this type of exchange of resources and information is healing for me. And I hope it's a resource and helpful to you, in what I'm sharing. But again, on the following Thursday, June 18th, I will be joined by Ayanna Robinson, who is the founder of Black Girls Babysitting, Lord have mercy. Get it right, Kimberly. Let me pull up so I can do it justice. The Black Girls Breastfeeding Club, blackgirlsbreastfeedingclub.com. So I'm looking forward to that interview, and we'll talk solely about breastfeeding and Black women, and breast is best. So I am going to wrap this up. If you are watching the replay of this, thank you for watching. In the comments, I have the link to watch the episodes on YouTube. If you leave comments, even when you watch the replay, I will be able to respond to them because I get all the notifications for all of this. So yeah, that's that. And I'm gonna play some of my theme music again because I love it so much, because it was made, and Mike Woodman. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you. So again, thank you for watching this episode of Dish with the Doulas. I will put this episode on YouTube once I can get it downloaded, uploaded, all those good things. I'm wondering if I get the audio off of here. So we'll see if this audio will be available on iHeart and Spotify. Thank you for watching. You all have a good evening. Be safe. Self-care strategies, develop them for yourself and your family. Do what you need to do to take care of yourself, to be able to go out there and do what you need to do to take care of us, right? So I hope to see you next Thursday, 7 p.m. and the following Thursday on the 18th. And again, thank you for joining me. Have a good night.